that you stopped by, board members. I hope you're having a great day and your break is just as fabulous. And I know that you could tune into any channel to get your reality TV update, review, recap. You decided to stop by the boardroom. Thank you so much. So you know, from me and my reviews, I like to take a little nugget from the show and talk about what was so impactful, so interesting about it. So I keep saying that the Silvas are bringing it to the show, right? For Love and Marriage Huntsville, DJ Silva and Ashley continue to bring it to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, on the last show, we saw that Ashley and Winter fell out because Monique misinterpreted the conversation and the luncheon between all of the ladies when she was in Africa, and had a follow-up one-on-one with Winter, who felt she was ambushed during that luncheon with all the other ladies. So Monique called herself being the bone collector and didn't translate it very well. As a matter of fact, she made it look worse than it actually was. So what we realized here, Monique admitted she messed up the conversation between Ashley and Winter when she brought them both together for a lunch. She had to acknowledge that she messed it all up, right? This Winter, in no uncertain terms, you talked about my husband. So that means we will never be friends, okay? We will never be friends. And Miss Winter said, no, I was not talking about your husband. I was giving an example of, you know, I have heard things on the streets about Quick, but I've never, I never said I heard anything specific. I was just saying that I had heard things. And Ashley said to her, well, I'm only commenting about your marriage because that's what you shared. I'm not pulling anything from the streets and the rumor mill and commenting. I'm just commenting on what you have sat here in my face and shared. And she's absolutely right. If you don't want anyone to criticize or judge your behavior, then don't share it with anybody, right? Because Mad Day is always going to come. And even if it ain't Mad Day, then why open yourself up for feedback, comments, and judgments if you really don't want to hear it? Because that's the reality. So Ashley had every right to comment on Winter's marriage and her inability to recognize that she was being manipulated. So there it is. Winter had no right to be mad at Ashley. So we move right along when we see that DJ Quick and his wife, Miss Ashley, go to the doctor. He talks about the pain in his wrist, and the doctor indicates that he has to stop using the wrist so intensely because at some point it's going to cause long-term damage where he may not even be able to use the wrist or use it in a limited way. And you think about certain careers and you never really think about the impact, of using your wrist constantly for your career. And you could tell when the doctor was telling him that, the look on his face was, what will I do if I can't DJ? You could see it. He never said it, but you can certainly see it. And even Ashley was telling him to cut down from 15 to 10 gigs, but you can see the look on his face because he knew that skill and talent has given his family the life that they enjoy. So that was a very powerful scene. And like I said, the Silvas have really been more authentic in their sharing than any of the other couples. And that's what makes them so interesting. And then we go on to see Irana and Britt, that DJ Ashley and Monique and Chris have dinner at Silva's house, at the Silvers' home. And I love them. They're so down to earth. Why? Because they're just bringing out the order, the fast food, and putting it right on the plates. Love it, right? They're so regular. So they sit down, and clearly DJ's Quick is very upset. Monique was the one carrying the rumor. He was offended. He was hurt. Ashley said she was done with it. She was so upset. She didn't understand why Monique was still talking about it at their home. She wanted to move past it. But Monique kept drilling it in. So DJ Quick was very upset. And Chris was really trying to be the peacemaker. Gotta love Chris. He is a good guy. He is a good person, right? He is a good person. And he really wanted to resolve this issue so there's no friction between the Silvas and the Samuels. So a really powerful moment was when Winter, and I like Winter because she came in strong, revealed her hand, and hasn't stopped, right? So in this scene, Winter is with her children. She introduces us to I guess, 2 of her 4 children with her first husband, not the second husband, with her first husband. And she's advising them that she's leaving town, that the divorce from the second husband is almost finalized. And she wanted to know how her children felt about it. And her daughter said to her mom, "You were manipulated. While he was manipulating you, he was also wining and dining you and spoiling you and giving you all these wonderful gifts so that you could not see that he was not authentic." What maturity for young people to have, and what a great relationship for her children to have, and to be able to talk so frankly with their mother. Love the openness and in that scene as well. And so we move right along, and we see that the couples go to this, I don't know, let's call her Terry, because I don't know. And Terry says she scans them. I don't know. I'm like Jamie in this regard. I don't really buy into it. I don't really believe into it, but the scene was there. They talk. She brings issues forward for each of the couples. She talked to Irana and how she felt like she always had to be perfect. And that moment stuck because Irana broke into tears. It's like she has been holding this in her heart for years. And to see her husband, Jamie, hit her on her leg and tell her to stop it. Like, no, don't do that here. Don't you dare cry here and let all these people see your emotions and figure out we have problems. I said he must be a piece of work behind the scenes. And you can see he's very firm. And the way he is with his children, he's probably the same way with her. And she started to cry and he hit her leg. Can you imagine being married to someone 20-something years and they still don't get you? They still don't know how to comfort you and support you when you're hurting? And to tell you to be quiet when you're filming? Wow, they have a lot of work to do in their marriage. They have a lot of work to do. I felt so bad for her in that moment because he did not comfort her. And even in the confessional, she said, I'm crying and my husband is hitting my leg and telling me to stop crying. That was a lot to process. So we will see how this plays out in their marriage. So in that regard, I give Terry some points because clearly she recognized their challenges. Even with him, she said that he needed to relax. He was insecure, and that a part of that, that's why he's so firm, because it's like a guard, and he doesn't want to be seen as weak. So that probably has to do with his childhood or his parents, but we don't know because he never really talks anything about his family or anything besides business. So we move to the Silvas, who are once again so forthcoming with their life story. And the lady says to DJ Quick, the number 9, what does that mean? And he said at 9, he found out that his mother was dying of cancer. And in 1999, his father died. And it just hit him because he had to process all of that hurt and pain at one time. And that how he wished he still had his dad. He wished that his dad had met his wife and his children. And he wished that his dad could see him now to see how he has been so successful. And then she talked about Chris and Monique need to talk through some things when they get together at home. I thought that was a very powerful scene. And I love the authenticity of the Silva family. They're like the friends you can hang out with, right? They're going to be themselves. You're going to have a good time. They're going to be honest. And their relationship seems like a lot of fun. Really big shout outs to them, right? Really big shout outs to them. So it is the final scene of the evening, and DJ Quicksilver calls together his brothers, and they all go to his father's gravesite. And DJ Quicksilver pulls out a letter that his mom wrote to them when she found out she was sick. And he said this is the second time he's read the letter. And he read the letter with his brothers. They're supporting him and committed to spend more time with his brothers. I thought that was an incredible scene of vulnerability. And a lot of times in reality TV, we don't get that much vulnerability from the men. So to see that, him share that, because he doesn't know how many people he may be helping by being so vulnerable. So that was the end of the episode. The Silvas are really carrying the episode. Monique and Chris really haven't put a footprint on the show, even though they're the reason the show was created. Still haven't seen reality stardom from Monique. So I'm not going to keep you. I know you have so many things to do, but I appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notifications buttons before you exit. I appreciate you coming back to the boardroom. Bye-bye.